Define health and safety auditing. Health and safety auditing is the structured process of collecting independent information on the efficiency, effectiveness and reliability of the total health and safety management system and drawing up plans for corrective action. What is the meaning of root cause, immediate cause? Root cause. A root cause is an underlying or fundamental reason for any failure of safety observance, accident or issues related to health, environment, quality, reliability and production etc. Inadequacy of training, both in general and for specific equipment maintenance. Systems of work that fail to achieve the required objectives. Failure to conduct appropriate risk assessments and inspections. Personnel and personal matters, wrong staff, unrealistic demands, harassment. Immediate causes might involve what we have described as substandard acts or conditions. Substandard acts. Removal of, or damage to, a guard. Poor housekeeping such spillages or rubbish leading to fire, slipping etc. Substandard conditions. Operator error. Failure in use of, or failure to use. Human factors such as a lack of concentration, fatigue. Describe the single-causal accident model. Lack of management control. Basic causes, personal and job factors. Immediate causes. Accident. Loss. What are these 5 steps of safe work systems? Assess the task. Identify the hazards. Define safe methods. Implement the system. Monitor the system. What is an accident investigation sequence? Accident investigation sequence. Remember that if you need help in developing your general sequence, you should think through the sequence of events in a few real accidents. Accident is reported to Safety Advisor, Personnel Department, Safety Manager, Senior Management, if the accident is serious, Appropriate Authority, HSE etc. Whoever is charged with the responsibility for investigating the accident will undertake to visit the site and record details, camera etc. Conduct interviews. Draft the report. Discussion and modification of draft report to produce final report. Report submitted to Safety Committee, Senior Managers, Safety Representatives. Implement the recommendations of the report. Monitor effectiveness of remedial actions. Provide feedback. What is the prime purpose of an accident investigation? The main purpose of an accident investigation is to find the cause, with the intention of preventing a recurrence. What are the 4 elements of the investigation process? Establishing the facts. Identifying immediate causes. Identifying any underlying causes. Identifying remedial action to prevent the causes from occurring again. Which documents may need to be consulted during an accident? Investigation. Inspection and maintenance records. Risk assessments. Environmental measurements. Medical records. General and specific safety reports and analyses which relate to the circumstances. Training and other personnel records. Minutes of Safety Committee meetings. Why risk of accidents at work on young persons? Lack of knowledge. Lack of experience. Lack of training. Physical development of the individual. Desire, nature of young person to take risks. Peer group pressure in young persons. What are the common causes of fires in the workplace? Faulty electrical equipment or incorrectly used electrical equipment. Smoking materials discarded unsafely. Poorly maintained equipment, that is, friction caused by lack of lubrication. Sparks from certain types of work, for example, grinding. Hot surfaces on heating appliances. Willful intention to cause fires, arson. Statics electricity resulting from improper transfer of flammable liquids. Certain chemical reactions can give off heat. Hot work, for example, cutting and welding. What are the effects on health from exposure noise? Induced hearing loss, caused by damage to the hair cells of the inner ear with reduced hearing capacity at particular frequencies. Tinnitus and temporary effects such as temporary threshold shift, acute tinnitus, stress and fatigue. Acute trauma such as a burst eardrum caused by exposure to sudden loud noise. What are the driven chainsaw hazard? Contact with moving parts of the chainsaw. Exposure to fumes and dust. Hazards arising from manual handling operations. Exposure to noise and vibration. Falls from height. Handling lubricating oils which might lead to dermatitis. Flying particles such as tree bark and sawdust. Uneven ground or wet grass which could lead to slips and falls. Falling objects such as branches or the tree itself. Contact with overhead surfaces. Hazards from adverse weather conditions. What are the precautions for the use of mobile cranes? Ensuring the crane and its attached lifting gear are suitable for the task. The ground should firm level and that the outriggers. The crane are always correctly positioned. The driver and slinger to be used in the operation are competent. There are no obstructions such as overhead power lines or buildings in the vicinity of the lift. Warning signs and barriers are erected to ensure the area where the lift is to take place is kept clear. Personnel not directly involved in the lift. How can minimize risks to workers? Use of suitable containers for the chemicals carrying warning signs as to their danger. The methods used for handling the chemicals. Procedures for the cleaning up and containment of the spillages. The provision of adequate ventilation for the working areas. Use of personal protective equipment such as chemical-proof gloves, eye protection and overalls. Site rules setting out the hygiene procedures to be followed. Prohibiting eating or smoking in the working areas. Setting up emergency procedures including first aid provision. Providing employees with instruction, information and training on the handling of toxic substances. Ensuring the provision of adequate supervision. Monitoring to check that control measures were being followed. What is the control measures of excavation? The detection of underground services by using plans or cable, pipe detectors. Supporting the sides of the excavation by shoring or benching, storing materials and spoil away from edge of the excavation. Providing means to prevent vehicles falling into the excavation such as stop blocks. Providing guardrails and barriers to prevent people falling into the excavation. Providing means of support for adjacent structures to prevent collapse. Providing safe means of access, egress into the excavation. Testing for noxious fumes and providing ventilation. If necessary, using pumps to protect against flooding. Taking precautions to safeguard the workers from biological hazards or those caused by the presence of contaminated ground. Arranging for the excavation to be inspected at regular intervals by a competent person.
Please give comment and suggestions.
Thank you.
Subscribe our YouTube channel and hit the bell icon for more updates. Thank for visit our channel. See you next class.
Thank you.